There's only one man who can save us.
Andreas Gustafsson, the greatest marauder the world has ever seen.
Nah, but Islam Makhachev gets it done by decision against JDM, just as I predicted, of course. And by the way, I went 5 for 5 on the main card. Undefeated, undisputed, never gotten a pick wrong in my entire life. But I don't like bragging, you guys, so let's get back to the topic. Although this wasn't super entertaining, this was a very impressive performance by Islam Makhachev. To do that against someone like JDM is very impressive in my opinion, especially when you consider the fact that he is a really good anti-grappler. And I think this fight surprised a lot of people because a lot of people thought this fight was going to be very close. In my opinion, it was kind of like a 50-50 fight. But I thought that it would at least be competitive. But Islam Makhachev really fought the perfect fight. He immediately went out there and started chopping at JDM's legs, which was really interesting to see because we've never really seen him do that before in any of his prior fights. And by the third round, JDM was actually really hurt to the calf. So JDM was almost forced to engage more with his boxing in order to not get his leg kicked. But the problem was that every time JDM went forward with his boxing, Islam Makhachev would time him perfectly with a double leg. And that's also something we don't really see him do that much of in his fights. He usually gets his takedowns up against the fence. But in this fight, I think he got every single takedown, or at least majority of takedowns, out in the open. And the reason for why he was able to do that was because JDM had a high guard in this fight. If you look back at the Bilal Muhammad fight, he kept his guard lower, which gave him natural underhooks whenever Bilal Muhammad shot in. But Makhachev was throwing a lot of head kicks in this fight, which forced JDM to just have a higher guard. And the high guard does make it easier for your opponent to get takedowns because you can't get the underhooks as easy. And every time Islam Makhachev got JDM to the ground, he was in absolute control. JDM did a very good job though of not getting submitted, and at the end of the rounds he actually got up. So I take that as a moral victory. However, Islam Makhachev literally mentally broke JDM. Like, you could see it on his face. Pure frustration. I want to fight, why are you holding me down? And I think this is the worst way to lose in MMA because it's just so humiliating. Like, you don't even get the chance to put up a fight. And I'm not saying this to go at JDM in any way, by the way. Bars, by the way. I completely understand how frustrating it must be. Now, as for what's next for Islam Makhachev, I think it should be the Ilia Topuria, at least somewhere down the line. And I would honestly like to see it at the Apex. No, I'm joking. At the White House, of course, because a fight like that deserves a gigantic stage. And what's sad is this fight is probably gonna take place at 170, and in my opinion it just isn't right to have Ilia Topuria fight in the same weight class as Michael Morales. Like, Ilia Topuria is not even a big featherweight, like the guy's like 5'7" or something. And if the fight took place at 170, I think Islam Makhachev would just be too much for Ilia Topuria. However, at 155, I would honestly pick Ilia, man. I would honestly pick Ilia. And I just think it's kind of funny how Makhachev decided to move up and fight JDM because he didn't want to fight Ilia Topuria at 145er, but now he wants to fight a 145er at 170. Very crafty move, I must say. Very crafty move. But listen, man, Islam Makhachev is the GOAT of the sport. He just has higher quality wins than John Jones. And if you want a more in-depth explanation to why Islam Makhachev is the GOAT, you should check out this video which I made prior to the JDM fight. But anyways, I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe for some of the best yap on MMA YouTube. Am I just an Islam Makhachev glazer, or do you agree with my take? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and also don't forget to share this to every single Islam Makhachev fan you know, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!